Today we're playing the Gooey Chewy contest by Harold Goldsmith, illustrated by Charles Jordan. The Gooey Chewy contest. The Gooey Chewy contest by Howard Goldsmith, illustrated by Charles Jordan. Where do you see the card?
How's your breathing? You okay?
I don't know.
The contest. On his way home from school, Gabby passed a sign. Enter the big bubble blowing contest presented by the Gooey Chewy Bubblegum Company. Can you blow the biggest bubble, Eugene? Come to Lincoln Park, Saturday, May 10th, 12 noon. I'm going to enter that bubble blowing contest, Gabby told Joselito. Joselito laughed. A little kid like you know blow the biggest bubbles in town. Gabby Gomero was the shortest boy in his class. Joselito Flaquito was the tallest. Joselito always made fun of Gabby's height. I'll show him what a little kid can do, thought Gabby. But he wondered how he could win the contest. Then he remembered Uncle Tio Cerebrito, the inventor. I'll go ask Uncle Tio, Gabby decided. Maybe he can help me. Uncle Tio lived in Cerebrito Manor, a house he had built himself. There was something special about Cerebrito Manor. It looked like a spaceship. Gabby was always afraid Cerebrito Manor might blast off into space, taking Uncle Tio with it. But the last time Gabby visited Uncle Tio, the manor was still there. Gabby looked forward to seeing his uncle again. Adik read.
The bubble making machine. When Gabby arrived at
Cerebrito
Manor, Uncle Tio shouted a warm greeting. How are you, Gravy?
No, not Gravy, Gabby, yes.
Gabby told Uncle Tio about the bubble blowing contest. Did you say bubble, Uncle Tio?
Exclaimed.
Come, I will show you something.
I'll show you something.
I will show you something. He led Gabby down the hall to a room at
the rear of the house. A huge machine stood before them. See if you can guess what this is, Eugene, said Uncle Tio. It's the only one of its kind in the entire world. That's because I made it. Gabby scratched his head, puzzled. I'll show you how it works, said Uncle Tio. He poured a bottle of liquid soap into an opening. Then he turned a crank. The machine shook up, down sideways. Clang! Boing! Boom! Pow! A large round bubble floated up out of the machine. Do you see that? Uncle Tio asked Uncle Tio. A real beauty. Did it?
Gabby tried to catch the bubble, but it flew up to the ceiling. Another bubble rose from the machine, followed by three,
a third,
a fourth, and more. They went sailing by too fast for Gabby to count. I get it, said Gabby. It's a bubble-making machine.
Correct, Uncle Tio jumped up and down with glee. Look at them go, boy. Bubbles streamed through the air as thick as snowflakes during a storm. How do you turn it off? Gabby asked. Uncle Tio pressed the switch, but nothing happened. The switch must be broken, he said, blowing a bubble off his nose. Adik read.
The room was filled.
Filled
with bubbles. They kept
bursting
as they bounced off the walls and ceiling. The machine rocked back and forth, going bloop, beep, beep, bloop.
Bloop. Bubbles poured out in endless numbers, faster and faster. Finally, Uncle Tio took a huge wrench and whacked the machine. It coughed and shivered, sputter, groaned. The machine suddenly stopped. It leaned to one side. Poor machine. Then it tilted the other way and collapsed.
But actually, in real life, if you hit it with a wrench, it could destroy the machine.
It can blow up. Getting ready. The machine was fun while it worked, said Uncle Theo. Yes, said Gabby, but even if you fix it... What is it, baby?
Mama, it's
Hair
touching
stuck?
hair.
Oh, wow. Tangle. Wait, Mama turned off the... Getting ready. The machine was fun while it worked, said Uncle Theo. Yes, said Gabby, but even if you fix it, it won't help me win the bubblegum blowing contest. Why didn't you say bubblegum? I have just the thing for you. Uncle Theo opened a drawer and took out a small box. Inside this box is something very special, Cerebritos Miracle Bubblegum. There's only one piece, so take good care of it. What's so special about it? Gabby asked. Wait until Saturday and you'll see. Uncle Theo said, smiling slyly. In the meantime, read the instructions and practice working your jaw up and down. Do you want Mama to read?
Yeah.
Gabby thanked Uncle Theo and left. He tried to read the instructions, but the ink was smeared. He remembered to work his jaw though and hoped for the best. Gabby went over to his friend Pepita's house. What's wrong with your jaw? Pepita asked. Nothing, Gabby said. I'm just practicing for the bubble blowing contest. Look what my Uncle Theo gave me. What is it, Pepita? Some kind of special gum. I hope it helps me win the contest. They could hardly wait for Saturday to come. The world's biggest bubble. Finally, the big day arrived. Gabby and Pepita went together to Lincoln Park. The contest started. The first contestant was a red-haired boy who blew a medium-sized bubble. Next, a blonde girl blew a 3-part bubble that split up the middle. The third contestant lost a tooth inside his bubble. Holy moly! Did you hear that, baby?
Yeah.
Then it was Joselito's turn. He took a breath and blew. A bubble slowly began to form. At first, it looked like a ripe apple. Moments later, it grew to the size of a grapefruit. Soon, it was as large as a balloon. But Joselito wasn't satisfied. He kept blowing until his face turned purple. He blew and blew until pop! Splat! The bubble burst. Bubblegum stuck to Joselito's face, covering his nose and cheeks and eyebrows. Gabby laughed. Then everyone else started to laugh and they saw Gabby still working his jaw up and down. The judge signaled for Gabby to begin. Gabby took one last look at the smudged instructions, crossed his fingers, and put the gum in his mouth. After chewing it thoroughly, he began to blow. A bubble the size of a golf ball slowly appeared. In no time, it was as big as a baseball. Then something strange happened. To Gabby's amazement, the bubble began to blow itself. It swelled to the size of a basketball. Wow! Cried Pepita. Holy moly! Everyone stared at the biggest bubble in the world. They waited for it to burst, but it continued to grow. It became twice as big as a basketball, then 3 times as big. How big will it get, Eugene? High in the sky. As everyone was wondering how big the bubble could possibly get, Gabby suddenly floated off the ground, lifted up by the giant bubble. Grab him, the mayor yelled. Pull him down, but Gabby slipped through their hands and rose above the crowd. That's scary. Spit out the gum, Pepita shouted. I can't, Gabby said, trying to say I can't. The gum was stuck to his mouth. I'm trying to spit it out, but I can't. Gabby was 10 feet off the ground. A wind lifted him 20 feet in the air. He kept rising higher and higher. Watch out for the tree! Pepita yelled.
But that could actually save him.
Gabby missed the tree by an inch. He floated over the park. How will I ever get down, he thought. The park looked smaller and smaller to him. The wind carried Gabby past the park and over the town. He gazed down at the rooftops. There was his own house right below. Then he saw Cerebrito Manor. If only Uncle Theo could help him. Theo Cerebrito! Gabby cried, but he was too high to be heard. A flock of pigeons came flying up behind him. They were heading straight for the giant bubble. Gabby was afraid they would get stuck in it. But the pigeons flew around him at the last second, and Gabby continued to float high in the sky. Oh, my aching jaw! Suddenly, Gabby heard a great roar. The air shook. Gabby shook. He looked up and saw a helicopter whirling above him. Gabby moved to help, but the pilot didn't see him. What am I going to do? He wondered. Gabby closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, Uncle Theo was beside him. How could that be? He's inside the balloon too. world.
No, it's like
Bubble inside the
No, it's
bubble.
like some special like machine
Oh,
thingy.
I must
like
be
a force
dreaming,
field.
Gabby thought. Then he realized his uncle was standing inside a bubble. But what was he wearing? It was a funny looking outfit with a pack strapped to his back. Uncle Theo's mouth was moving furiously. He seemed to be shouting something, but Gabby couldn't hear him. Then, to Gabby's great surprise, Uncle Theo reached out through the bubble and the bubble lifted away. Hold on, my boy, Uncle Theo shouted as he grabbed Gabby around the waist. Pop! Gabby's bubble suddenly burst. Gabby and Uncle Theo tumbled through the air, plunging toward the ground. Swoosh! The bag on Uncle Theo's back opened into a great big umbrella. No, it was a parachute. They floated down over the park and landed right at the mayor's feet. The crowd cheered. You're a genius, said the mayor. And a hero too. What a daring rescue mission. The president of the Gooey Chewy Bubblegum Company gave Gabby a case of bubblegum. This is your prize for blowing the biggest bubble, he declared. Thank you, Gabby said, but I won't be able to chew for a week. My jaw hurts. Everyone laughed. Gabby shared the gum with all his friends, even Joselito, who looked a little shorter after the contest. Just then, Uncle Theo took something from his pocket. I found some more Cerebritus Miracle bubble gum, he announced. No more miracle gum for me, said Gabby, but maybe Joselito would like it, he added, a gleam in his eye. The end.